At the heart of the project, I have to say, are the steering group. And the steering group comprises people from within the school, from health, from the voluntary sector, and a sixth-year pupil, a parent. And really, these are the people that have driven forward the project and done a huge amount of the work. However, I think I'd have to say that as well as that group, the whole school community really has been behind the project, so it's quite a big heart, I guess. I hope the project would help improve emotional and mental well-being for the school as a community, so not just the pupils, that would be the staff as well, and perhaps parents that are involved within that community. And as part of that would be raising awareness and knowledge about emotional health and mental health and well-being, and reducing stigma. These were the key things that we hope to achieve. The project began when I was identifying a population health need, and it was clear to me from my background, professional background and experiences within the community that there were a huge amount of young people who were experiencing social and emotional well-being issues, which were impacting on their personal lives, their relationships, their ability to engage in their education and to attain and achieve and have a fulfilling quality of life. So that's where it started for me, and then that rippled into speaking to the people within the school community and drawing like-minded people who are identifying the same issues into establishing a project and looking at the approaches that might best help. And I think it's fair enough to say for me as a public health nurse that started as a more intervention-based approach, but because other people became involved, it became broader and then became a whole school and preventative approach. So that was the beginning. The middle really involved pulling the right people together, making sure the right people were involved, making sure that we communicated what we were trying to do, that we were clear what our aims, objectives, what our outcomes were, and meeting regularly and being organised and committed as a group. And even when it got quite difficult and challenging and we had many barriers to overcome, we'd need to keep going. Getting some funding helped that process, obviously. And now I think as we're drawing towards the end of this project, if you like, the evaluation report that we'll produce will help us really analyse the outcomes and really look at what we need to take forward, what we've learned from the process, and what we'll continue to build within the school. It will be a sustainable thing, that the project may have ended, but the work will be sustainable and will carry on. And that may well involve scaling up within the borders school communities. So that's the beginning, middle, end for me.
This project has made a difference because there is a huge cultural change in the language of well-being, particularly mental well-being, that is used within the school by staff, by parents, and particularly by pupils. And it really dovetails beautifully with the wellbeing indicators, which are the outcome-driven mechanisms which we use to make sure that young people are well and that they are healthy. And we now have a rigorous annual assessment of young people's well-being and mental health under those indicators, and it just feeds into that whole language and increase in knowledge of what mental health is, the difference between a mental health disorder and what mental health means for everybody, and how it's something that is all about recovery, it's all about support, and it's just incredibly cohesive, the way that we now work, and we try and include everybody in what we're doing, and I just think there's a far better understanding of mental health and its importance in emotional health.
The best thing for me about being involved is working collaboratively with like-minded people to achieve change and to make an impact on young people's lives. And that has been crucial for learning and development for me personally and professionally as a public health nurse. It's quite a big challenge as a public health nurse to realise some of the proficiencies like influence and policy and achieving population health change and reducing health inequalities. And for me, realising that doing that collaboratively through partnership work is the best approach, and it's benefited my leadership skills and added to my professional skills all round. The work has been a catalyst for change amongst my professional group, because I think it's made us realise that we can't always be responding to social, emotional and mental wellbeing issues. That's not enough just to have adequate interventions or adequate responses, which we're all very good at as nurses. We need to look at preventative measures, and we need to look at the bigger picture and how we work with other people who have different skills and different contributions to make a bigger, longer term impact on the health and wellbeing of our young people.